Okay, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe and today I want to film a special video because I want to talk about today about my all-time favorite books. But I decided to split this video into two because today I want to only talk about my all-time favorite romance books. And I do this because I don't want to talk a lot. And I hope I keep this video short because I not have many romance books to talk about. I'm normally a fantasy reader. I love fantasy books in all the kind of ways fantasy exists, and I don't like romance books. This is a special. It's nothing special about it why I don't like romance books, but I think the most of the time they're a little boring for me, too predictable, and always the same. You have always the one girl who has a tragic backstory, and then she meets this guy who has also a tragic backstory, and then they come together, and because of the lack of communication skills they got in a big fight, they break up, and their friends try to get them back together, and at the end they're a couple and love each other, married and have kids and a dog and a house on, not in the city, in the village around. You know what I mean. And that's what I normally don't like. But there are a few books that I actually like. And today I want to talk about these books. So, it was such a good beginning. I hate romance and I talk about romance books today. Yeah. Okay, no. But the books I want to talk about, I really enjoy. The most thing about romance books that I like, or the most kind of romance books that I like, are these books where you have person A, person B, and they meet up, and then they build a friend group around them, and in the next book they talk about different persons, but well related to the first persons in the first book. So you have another story, but you also have still the persons from the first book around, so you follow their stories too, even though in the next books it's about different persons. So I really enjoyed these kind of books. I have four series for you and one standalone. And I think I start with the soft books and then we go to the heavier books. Okay, the first books that I have are the Heartstopper series from Alice Oseman. This is not a typical kind of book. These are a graphic novel. That are graphic novels because you can really read them fast. It's such a lovely story about Nick and Charlie. They're both in, I think, the rugby team. I forgot. I'm sorry, I hate sport. So I can't remember in which kind of sport setting they are, but I think it was rugby. They meet, they build up very cute friendship together, and then eventually they got in a relationship. And what I enjoyed about these books is that not only they talk about, I really enjoy these books because they talk about topics that are normally not often talked about in books, like how is to come out as a gay person, especially when you're in a rugby team with a lot of male friends. Then they talk about topics like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, and this kind of stuff. And I think Alice Oseman did a really good job into putting these in the kind of a comic style, and I enjoyed them, and I can recommend these books to you, and I'm so excited for the next book. The next book series that I have for you is this one. a lot of books. But I look up the books that I talk about, the Again series from Mona Kasten. Mona Kasten is a German author, and I look up. In Goodreads stands that there is an English version that is translated in English, so you can read it. It stands that this is a Kindle book. It's still available, but only the first 2 books. But it's not a problem because the first 2 books are the best of the series. Okay, sadly, but only the first 2 books are translated. So, let's talk about the first book. The first book starts with Begin Again, and at first, the first girl what let's talk about is Ellie Harpers, who moves in a different city and starts a new life. And then she meets Caden White, which is this tall attractive boy with all of the tattoos on the arm. Yeah, I know I said in the beginning I don't like these kind of books, but this is good, okay? This is good. And of course they have the difference, but they fall in love with each other. And it's cute, okay? I love the books. It's a fast read. I enjoy every single page of this book. And when I say it, that I love a romance book, it means a lot, okay? But because I hate every romance book that I read. So this is the lead. Okay. And then the second book was also translated, is Trust Again. I think Trust Again is the favorite book of all of them, of mine, and it's about Spencer and Dawn. And I think these 2 characters are the most enjoyable couple of all of them. And I hope they translate the other books too in English, because there are 3 more. Yeah, we love that. In the third book, it's about Sawyer and Grant, and the fourth book, it's about Everly and Nolan, and the last book is about Jude and Blake. I think Trust Again is my favorite. And then I like Feel Again with Sawyer. Sawyer and Grant are a lovely couple too. And I think the book that I don't like at all of all these books are Hope Again, who's about Everly and Nolan. And that's because Nolan is a professor. The next book that I really love, that I really enjoyed, is Red, White and Rory Blue from Casey McQuiston. I know a lot of people don't like these books, but I like this kind of romance. If you don't know what it's about Alex Clemon Diaz, who was the son of the president, the female president of the United States of America, and he meets up with Henry, who was the prince of the United Kingdom. They fell in love with each other, if you probably know. If you kind of guess that they fall in love with each other. And I really love the story, even though it's not realistic that there's because there's no female president, and if there is not a unmarried young prince in the United Kingdom. I really love the story. I think what I like the most is that they are not in this book is not that of a big plot, because what I don't like is these huge kind of plots where they are such dramatic. And I think in this book I really like that it's still a important plot. There's still the whole story is important, but I think the most thing I enjoy in this book is that their problems are so much more realistic, even though the whole story is not that realistic. Do you know what I mean? I hope. And I really love this book. I read this book twice last year, and I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 5 stars, and I reread this year, and I still give it 5 stars. Enjoy this book. I love it. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is a book series 2. It's a book series 2, and it's, how does this called? I think this is the Edinburgh Love Stories series, and it starts with London Road, and it's from Samantha Young, and it's built up the same like I said with the Again series from Mona Kasten. In the first book it starts with Joanna Walker, and then it goes up. She meets Karen McCabe, and in the next book, I think there are more books in there, but I think I bought a few on my Kindle, if I'm not that wrong. And please ignore the different sizing of the book. I don't know what they do in Jamaica Lane. Why is this so big and the others are so short? I don't know. I hate this, but okay, we ignore that. And what I like in these books is that it's more serious, because there in these books the people are a lot older than in the other books. That I said in the Again series, I think they are like 20, 21, and this is the oldest what they are. And in these books they're older. They're 26, 28, 30, and I think you notice this through the story of them, what are the problems are. I really love these books. It's a good writing style. I love the stories of each of the characters, and I enjoyed in these books a little bit more that it's a family. So not I don't mean the incest plot. It's not an incest plot, yeah, okay. But in the first book, it's about Cameron McHale, and it goes a little bit around his family and his sister and brother and something like that. And then the persons who's more about this book, they meet this family, and I think that's cute because you not only have the friend group who they talk about, you get a family too who they talk about, and I liked it, and I can recommend these books to you. The next books that I want to talk about, I think a little bit controversial, but I like from E.L. James the 50 Shades of Grey books in the perspective of Christian Grey. Did I say it right? Yeah. I enjoy the books. I enjoy the 50 Shades of book. Enjoy it too. I think I'm not like them that much, like a lot of people. When I'm honest with you, I think they're not hard enough. We get to that later, but what I would like is this perspective out of Christian Grey, because I think the whole story out of the perspective from Aina, it gets a little bit boring out of her perspective, because I think it's pretty interesting to read about such a complex character, how does his perspective. They're also a quick read, because when you already read the 50 Shades books, you already know what's happening in this book, so it's a really quick read and I love it. And this is only the first, this is the first book. It's called Grey. Then Darker is the second book, and Freed is there on my reading table because I want to read the 12th book in this month. But I think I will still enjoy this book. I'm excited, really excited. Yeah. Should I say what's about in 50 Shades of Grey? I think not. You all know what's happening in 50 Shades of Grey. And if you not know what's happening in 50 Shades of Grey, do you live under a rock? Do you live behind the moon? Because everyone knows what's happening in 50 Shades of Grey. Even the 80-year-old grandma that lays on my station where I work knows what 50 Shades of Grey are. For the last series, I'm only showing you the first book. What I also like was the Crossfire series from Sylvia Day. What I need to say about this book is that the Crossfire series is only about one couple, and it's, I think, 5 books. I only have 4 books here, but I think about one book on my Kindle, so it's 5 books. And when I tell you in 50 Shades of Grey that I don't think that 50 Shades of Grey is hard enough for me, Crossfire, and if you the same opinion of me, that you think I like this kind of style, but it's not that hard enough, you need to read Crossfire. Crossfire is hard enough for me because it has a meaning that I mentioned this book series at the end, because of all books, that's not true, I read books that are not a lot harder than this one, but there's graphic content in there. And when I mean there's graphic content in there, I mean a lot of graphic content. I try to look up of the content warning that is about in this book. I only thanks Mel that you write this to me. She said the only graphic content in there and what stands in the internet is rape that's happening, but not in the current situation. It's in the back history of one of the characters, but there are a lot more. There's happened much more in this book. So if you're a little bit sensible, don't read this book. Please don't do it, because this is hard stuff. It's about Eva, and she has his first job in New York at a, I don't know what's the English word for it, but in this Crossfire building she meets Gideon Cross, and they fall in love with each other. He's rich, he's attractive, she's dominant, and that's just all you need to know. I think the Crossfire series is pretty similar to the 50 Shades series, but it's a lot deeper and darker than it's the 50 Shades of Grey series. Eva is similar to Anna, and Gideon is similar to Christian Grey. It gets this kind of vibe, but as I say, it's a lot deeper, it's a lot darker, and when you think, oh, in 50 Shades of Grey, this is a little bit hard, this BDSM style, then you should not read Crossfire, because it's a lot darker, it's a lot deeper. When I say it's a lot darker and deeper, it's a lot darker and deeper. This is all I need to say about these books. If you enjoy 50 Shades of Grey and think, oh, I need a little bit more spice, you get more spice in the Crossfire series. I think this was everything. I think this is all of the romance books that I like. Of course I read a lot more, you don't see it, but above this shelf is another shelf with romance books, but I don't like any of these books on that shelf. And I sort a lot of books out that I don't like. I think, should I make a video where I sort out my bookshelf? Are you interested in that? Because there are a lot of books that I need to get rid of. Because I don't like them, I need space for my new books that I like. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you, if you read any of these books, write in the comments down below how you like these books. If you are the same opinion on me that they are the best romance books out there. And they are not the best romance books, I know there's a lot more romance books out there. And and I hope it's okay for you that I split up these videos, that I do romance first and then fantasy. Maybe I do 2 parts of the fantasy books, because I read a lot. I read a lot of fantasy books. I read, of the 60 books I read so far in this year, I think 45 are fantasy books. So I love fantasy. Fantasy is my life. My heart beats for fantasy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you give this video a like, I would pretty enjoy that. And if you want to follow me, why you don't follow me? Follow me. Welcome this community that is pretty small. And then I will see you in the next video that is pretty sure upload next Sunday. Do we like the update on Sunday? Write us in the comments. Is the weekend okay? Write it. Bye.